Alright guys, stick barbecuing is a pain in the ass. Hey guys, Bruce the Weathered Soul here. How you guys doing today? A grilling moment today for the Weathered Soul podcast, or in the pit of your stomach, or wherever I'm going to post this, morning drive, whatever. I've got plenty of freaking podcasts that I can do this little video with. But today I'm using my Hollow 4-in-1. It's got the sear plate, it's got the gas grill, it's got the barbecue grill with the side smoker, the offset smoker. Well, today what we're going to do is we are going to grill. Hold on, I don't do this often, but we're going to grill, or we're going to smoke some ribs. I use my offset smoker for the very first time, and I've been doing all kinds of research on it. And one thing that I wanted to tell you guys is that it'd be worth your while to either get another thermometer that you can put down at grill level right here, so you can see what the grill temperature is, or don't use this top one, because the top one's going to lie to you. If anything that I've learned in the past couple of days watching some YouTube videos is that you got to have both temperatures close to each other. So that's what we're going to do. One other thing I want to show you is that the smoker side also has one of these trays right here. Okay, well, I put this tray, I took that tray off for the time being, and I stored it over here, and that's going to give me the room that I need, the clearance that I need to do my rack of ribs. Some of these places want you to put your ribs flat on the grill. That's fine. I like to do a couple more racks of ribs. I'm doing 2 racks of ribs, so I've got about four or 5 pieces that I need to put on here, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So hopefully that'll give you a little upstart on what I'm doing here. Next segment, I'll be firing up the grill as they told me I should. And we'll be going through the motions on firing up the grill and getting it to heat, and then putting the ribs on. Okay, see you next segment. Okay, well, I'm back, and we're getting ready to run my ribs and fire up this grill. And got a couple more features that I wanted to show you that I bought. I bought this dual thermometer. It's a food thermometer and a barbecue thermometer. I've got an instant read thermometer for my ribs later on, and we're not going to be opening up this very much. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to monitor the grill area too. So not only did we put this gauge in this morning, we also put a probe back here, and I'll show you what the probe looks like. Here's the probe right here. We're going to insert that right in here like so, and take our little probe thing here, and we're going to close the lid. Because I'm a rookie at this, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But we're going to try. So we're going to have not only the front that we're going to see, we're also going to see the rear in cooperation with the top, and then we're going to get what they say is a much more accurate reading on how the grill and the smoker is doing. So I want to make sure before I put my ribs on that pretty much everything is relatively the same. It's not going to be the same front and back and top. So, but I want it to be as close as possible. I want that to compress a little bit and be as close as possible. If it's 20 degrees off, no big deal. If it's 50 degrees off, that's a huge deal. So I want to make sure that that's one of the things that I want to avoid. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some of the Kingsford professional competition barbecue stuff. We're going to fill up our little chimney here. We're going to fill it up all the way, because from what I hear, one of the biggest things is that you can't get your fire up to speed. And what we're going to do is actually make sure that we have enough coals to put in here, so when we put this hickory wood in, that it's going to fire right up, and we're going to have ourselves a nice hot fire. And this is going to come up to speed to where I at least I want to shoot for 200 to 250 is what I want to be at, because that's what I used to do with Baby, which is my indirect smoker that I use. It's actually a barbecue smoker, and I've got a whole system that I do there. But this is totally new. I have no idea what I'm doing. All I know is that what I've seen on the internet and what I've seen on YouTube. Hope these guys aren't lying to me, but we're going to fire this thing up, and next time you see me, I'll be showing you when I dump the coals. Okay? See ya. So I just started my coals, and they'll be ready in probably 15-20 minutes, something like that, and then we'll pour them in there. But also what I found out was that we want to warm up these logs as much as we can, especially the first ones and the subsequent ones after, because what happens is that you want these things to burn like right away. You want them to fire up once you put them onto the fire. So and then we can regulate that fire, apparently, you know, the way you do with all your vents and stuff that you have around here. So but we're going to let this fire up. We're going to warm up some of our logs here. So our first logs on the fire will fire right up, and we'll get that nice what they call that clear or blue smoke that we want, which is the good smoke. And then we will just be using nothing but wood after we start our fire with these briquettes right now. So that's what we're going to do, and I'll be right back. All right, so the coals are fired up. The wood's getting all baked up and all nice and hot and everything. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to get my glove on and we're going to take these coals and we're going to dump them into the box there. Nice there. They're all nice and fired up there and ready to go. Kind of move them around a little bit. Distribute them. Real nice. And then we're going to take one of these chunks of wood. We'll take this one right here. And we're going to set this right down on there. We're going to close it up. Open this up and see if we can get some fire started here. And that's basically what they say, is these things should fire up pretty much right away. So we'll see how long it takes for this wood to fire up. But what we're going to be looking for is we're going to be looking for a clear or a blue smoke. As you can see right now, is you've got some smoke coming up right now. That's what you want. You don't want to see black smoke, and you can see that it's firing up right pretty right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our flue is about halfway closed off. We're going to close these for right now. That's inside the area right there. And we're also going to take a look at this. Make sure we come up to where we need to be. We're going to close that. Keep our things open here. We'll close up everything here. We'll come back and we'll see what we have. We're already at 100 here. We're already at, looks like, about 100 there. And we're a little bit over 100 here. So we're going to find out once we get here for about 15-20 minutes and find out where we're at. And we'll put the ribs on. Kind of also what we want to do is we also want to create some humidity in there to keep our ribs nice and tender and you know, full of juice. So what I do is actually put a pan down there, and I use some white wine, some old white wine that I have laying around. Usually my oldest is the stuff to go in. So put a little bit down there, and I'm going to close everything up, and we'll get everything up to temperature, and then we'll put the ribs on. Okay, so my top dial says about 250. My front dial says I'm somewhere around 250. And my back dial says I'm about 227, 229 and going up. So what I did was I choked this down a little bit, see if we can get this fire down to about 200, 225, and then we'll start putting the ribs on. Okay guys, it appears that I have some work to do, but what now is we're sitting at 250 in the back. We're sitting around 250, somewhere around there, a little bit more in the front here, and sitting right around 275 on the top. So I'm ready to put on my ribs because I really don't like them to go over 250. We'll see if we can keep it there. I've got everything choked off, so looks like our smoke is really doing good here. We got a nice blue, clear smoke. It's not black. So it's the good smoke that we need. I'm go ahead and put on, so we have the product here, and these are our ribs that we're going to put on here, and we'll slap those on there. And we're not going to look at these ribs very often, but we're going to keep that fire going and keep it at about 200 to 250 if we can. So next time you see me, you'll be seeing me loading up more wood in the pan there. So we'll talk to you later. Okay. All right. So what I thought was going to happen is happening, but I think I've got it under control. I started some extra briquettes here just to be on the safe side, but I don't think I had enough wood on the fire, so I put another log in there. It was going down, not considerably, but I figured that my briquettes were going to burn out eventually, and I would need to rely on the wood charcoal to keep everything going, which is what happened. So what I'm doing, I'm just doing a little bit of briquettes. I put another log on the fire. As you can see, I opened up the flues to get the temperature back up. I'll bring it back down if it gets too high, but everything seems to be going good. I don't have any black smoke. I've got the nice white, clear, blue smoke you want to see. It's not black, and we're just going to keep going. So I've been a firefighter for about the past half hour, trying to keep my fire under 250 degrees, 260 degrees. It's coming down now. I've had to let some heat escape from the top to keep everything in check. I still got my smoke going on, so that's still good. It didn't turn black or anything, but I shouldn't have put those other briquettes on. So you can see it's burning pretty good down there. I'm going to bust it up here in a little bit, and then I'll put a new log on there just to get the smoke start going again, because I still have some smoke, but we're still cooking pretty good. We got about 2 hours left on this, and then we'll be back. All right, so the ribs have been on for about an hour, and we're going to take a little check on them because I just want to see how they're coming along, and real curious about it because I've been fighting fire for the last couple of segments here, and I'm finally back down to about 237, 236, 235. Actually, it's going down right now, and I'm just going to use my trusty little instant read thermometer. We're going to lose a little heat right now, but that's okay because I want to kind of scrub off some heat down to about 200. I like being between 200 and 250. Works real well. So we're going to take a look at these real quick, and I'll let you kind of witness it at the same time, okay? So we're going to open this up. Oh, look at them babies right there. Take our little instant read thermometer, and we're about 140. About 140 right now. We're looking good. We're going to close those back up. We're going to close those babies back up and let them go for about another hour, hour and a half, something like that. As long as we can keep our fire where it needs to be, which now we scrubbed off a bunch of heat, so it's got to come back up. Probably good for another piece of wood, but you can see as we're looking here, it's coming back up. 207 here. We're at about 250, 245 here. On my thermometer that I put in this morning, we're at about 215, somewhere around there. So we're looking good as far as heat right now, and as soon as it starts buzzing at me again like it is now, we'll put another log on the fire, and then we'll finish this up. They're looking good. I haven't had any black smoke, anything just but clear and blue smoke, and they look pretty good. So we'll see what's going on later on. Alright guys, stick barbecuing is a pain in the ass. Let me tell you that right now. But I'm not going to let it defeat me. I'm going to learn from this experience. My fire pretty much went out. I went down to about 160 had a problem getting my last log to spark up again. I wrapped the ribs because I just learned that if you wrap your ribs after they get to a certain temperature, and then you can get them up to the 190 where you want them before. So I've got my smoker started. As you can see, I'm going again. My ribs are at 152 right now. My fire is at 211 right there at the grill moment, and I've got a fire going in there, which is good. It's better than it was about 20 minutes ago when I was trying to fight to keep this smoker back up to temperature. So next time you see me, I'm going to show you the results of what I've got on my ribs. Should be pretty good. I mean, they look pretty good. I didn't have any black smoke, so everything kind of went well. It's just I have to learn how to manage my fire, probably use smaller chunks, stuff like that, maybe a little bit different charcoal or something like that. I really don't have a clue, but I was fighting fire, and now I was fighting to get fire. So a learning experience for sure. But next time you see me, I'll show you the finished product, and hopefully it'll be yummy, yummy, yummy. Bye. Okay, guys, I'm a magical 2 degrees away from the optimum temperature I need to be to have these ribs done. And let me tell you, it's 6 o'clock, or a little bit after 6 o'clock, so it's been about 4 hours. I wasn't expecting 4 hours. I was expecting, 3.5 hours. But like I said, I fought this thing. I'm going to learn how to use this stick barbecue or this stick smoker. It was it was definitely a challenge for me. And I tell you what, in a couple of minutes, you guys are going to see the result of my hard work and my dedication and all my blowing through this little slot right here to keep that fire going, because man, it was a chore, and it was a lot different than my smoker over here that I call Baby. And Baby I know how to use because I've used her for so long. I know exactly how to use her. She's the indirect smoker. She's not an offset smoker. So this is totally different. Offset smokers are totally different than indirect smoking. And I am hoping that I will never go back to Baby, because Baby needs to be retired. She's old, she's rusty, she's seen her time, and I'm ready to, this smoker, this smoke hollow that I've got right here, and learn the trade, and then upgrade to one of those real nice 1/4-inch stainless steel smokers, something like that. I'm really looking forward to it. So the next time you see me, we're going to look at some of those ribs and see if I've got that great big red ring around it, and see if I got a tasty meal. All right, so I've got my ribs. They hit 190 on the barbecue, and here they are when I unwrapped them right here. You can see them as I'm looking at them here. And we're gonna dice into them and see what we've got on the inside. I should have that nice red ring around here. I'm hoping so. But we're gonna find out what these things do and how I did on that stick barbecue. And there it is, right there. There is that red ring you're looking for. They're at 190, so that means that they should render their fat. And let me tell you something else. I didn't do the 3-2-1 method. I actually did the 3-2 method. So I didn't finish these on the grill, but they look delicious, and I hope they're delicious because my company is hungry right now. And if you want more information, all you gotta do is watch the Weather Soul podcast Monday nights, 7 p.m. That's all you gotta do. You're gonna see it there. See you later. Bye. Okay.